I'm Andrea Wong, and recently I had a request to show how to knit toe-up socks. This is not the way I knit socks usually. I like to knit my socks cuffed down and on 4 double pointed needles. But I thought the request is interested. People want to see how I do things Portuguese style knitting, so I'm going to be showing you how to cast on, do this magic cast on, and start the sock toe up. So I'm gonna have 3 segments for this lesson, let's put this way. The first segment is gonna be today. I'm gonna show the cast on and how to increase to make the entire toe. The next segment, I'm gonna show you a pattern. I'm knitting here my own toe up socks for the first time, and I include some cables and vertical stranding, so I'm gonna be showing you that, how I'm gonna do the little cables crossing right and left and the vertical stranding. And my third segment is going to show you how to do the heel going from toe up. Okay, so with that 3 segments you can make your own pattern. You can knit your socks toe up if you like to, and you can apply that to Portuguese style knitting. Alright, so let's knit. Alright, so let's start our toe up sock by using the Judy's Magic Cast On. There are a lot of videos on YouTube that you might refer to. Here I'm going to show you how I do it. And I'm going to start by looping my yarn on the top needle like so. I have the tail to the top and the yarn that comes from the ball on the bottom. Now that I have this loop, I'm going to switch, and my tail comes to the bottom and my yarn from the ball to the top, and I'm going to hold on like long tail cast on. Okay, so this is the first stitch on the top needle. I will cast on one at the top, one below, one at the top, one below. So by doing that, it's time to do the needle below. I am going to go to the top yarn for that, from the bottom up. That's a stitch below and a needle below. Okay, so now we're going to alternate, one on top, one below. And to cast on one on top needle, I have to use the yarn that is at the bottom, and vice versa. For the bottom needle, I'm going to use the yarn on the top. And again, top, bottom, top, and bottom, and top, and bottom. So now we have 5 stitches on each needle. I need a total of 8. Top, so top needle, I go to the bottom yarn, 6, 7, 8. This last stitch here, I'm pushing everybody together. Let's count 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. Everything is very tight, and this last stitch here is really just a yarn over. You have to be careful. Okay, you could knot in the back. I don't. I just want to flip and show you the back, and you can see that looks like you have a row of purl stitches on the back. Okay, so again, carefully to not lose anything, I'm holding to that stitch. I am going to turn the 2 needles, flip 180 degrees like so, and by holding this yarn, I'm going to find out which one is. This is the tail, stay there, and this is my working yarn. Again, if you want to put a little knot in there, you might, but I'm going to start knit with this yarn now. Okay, my working yarn, and that's the yarn that is going to go to the pin now. So now I'm ready to start knitting. So I'm gonna pull the yarn that comes from the ball, my working yarn, and put it from left to right of my pin, making sure the tension is tight. Okay, and around a middle finger on my right hand. That's how you establish the tension for Portuguese knitting. So we're going to start by knitting the stitches on the top needle. Remember, I finished cast on like this. I turn, I bring the yarn, the working yarn, in between my needles. I'm gonna pull this needle this way. So what I'm trying to do is keep those stitches centered in the bottom needle so I can work the top ones, okay? Because this is gonna be a very tight business here. So I'm gonna insert as if to knit on my top. I assume you know all the steps for knitting Portuguese style. And I'm knitting the first stitch, knit the second stitch, take your time, okay, and this is going to be tight, knit the third stitch. The more stitches you knit, the tighter it gets. 4 and 5, 6, going well, drop it, 7, drop, last one, 8. Very tight. It helps to have a very pointy needle for that. Okay, take the 8th stitch. I'm gonna slide my stitches on the needle. First 8 done. Give it another turn. And now I have to do the same thing and knit the other needle, but on that one I have to knit the stitches through the back loop so they don't show twisted on the toe, okay? Just trust me for now, and if you have done this cast on, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to the back stitch, and again this is tight, so I'm going to tighten my tension here and knit the first stitch. 1, drop, knit through the back loop all 8 of them. 2, careful to not split the yarn. 3, take your time because those are the 2 hard rows that you're going to work. After that everything gets better and looser. Remember, the cast on row is always tight, okay? So I'm trying to not split the yarn here and do this slowly. 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. We got the first 2 rows knit. Let me put it down so you can see what I'm doing. This is our very top of the toe, okay? So I have stitches going both ways. From now on, we're going to start increasing for the toe. So the way I'm going to increase is I'm going to increase in the front and the back of this stitch, work until the last 2 stitches, increase on this one and knit 1. And the way I do knit in the front and the back, I don't know if you have seen any other class, is not the way people do it. I don't actually knit in the front or the back. I knit in the front of the stitch and slide the stitch again. as to purl. That's my increase. Now I'm gonna work until the last 2 stitches, like I said. One more and I'm there. There you go. So one before the last, I'm gonna increase again, knit in the front and slide the yarn or the stitch as if to purl, knit 1. There you go. From 8 I went to 10 stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Gonna do the same thing on the other needle. Bring the yarn behind. So I'm gonna knit. Okay. Knit in the front and slide the stitch again. You can look some other videos that I show how to increase. Actually, my first video, learn how to knit Portuguese style, I show all the increases and decreases. I am going to knit to the last 2. 1, and the yarn splits you can knit, so I'm fixing that. Go into the last 2 stitches. Two more. Take your time to do this first couple rows. And if you use 2 circular needles, it should be a little easier. I prefer to, even though those first rows are hard, I prefer double pointed needles. So here's my increase. Knit in the front. Slide the stitch. And last one. So from 8 you went to 10 on each needle. Let me put this down. Slide everybody here. And our toe is actually growing, okay? So you're going to repeat those 1 plain round, 1 increase round. 1 plain round. So now I would just knit the 10 here, knit the 10 here. The next round, increase, go to the last 2, increase, and so on. You're going to see this in my pattern, but anyway, keep doing that until you have your toe. This very beginning here is this, and I'm increasing every other round until you get to 64 here. And then we're going to go to our second segment, which I'm going to teach you the cables and the vertical stranding. Alright, so I'll meet you next time.